Meetings like today are the most exciting meetings for me because it's interactive, you know. We were sitting there yesterday, just before we went up, and we were talking, and you shook my hand and said, listen, I'm anxious to hear your speech. I know it's going to be good. And I said, well, it's going to be good, but it's not going to be a speech, you know, because I don't know how to give a speech. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to talk about what's going on with me and what's going on with the business, and you know, I know how to do that. And so today it's interactive. The more interactive. Last night was exciting for me because we got some interactivity going at the dinner table there, and people were asking questions, and we got to get some things going. And that's the only way that this still works. So today, we're just going to take off, and we're just going to see where it takes us and where we end up. And it's really going to come down to the questions that you guys have and your perspective of what takes place. That presentation that you guys have that Christine has, I think that's the best presentation that I've seen yet to date to newness. And you know, it was so funny when I first got here, I said, what are you guys selling? What does it cost? What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? And I could never figure out. And we've been working on all the different presentations since then to get it more simple and get it down and make it make more sense. And everything's been coming together. And we can't take lightly what I said yesterday about this 8-month process to get us where we are today. And I'm going to repeat so many of the things I said yesterday because we don't know it. We don't know something because we hear it. And we don't know something when we can say it. Okay? And we don't know something when we remember it. We know something when we can't forget it. You understand? I can't forget this stuff that I teach. I can't forget. I know it. I live it. Okay? And live it every day of my life. I live it. But the evolutionary process of over the last 8 months, and I know that you guys don't get the significance of what Jake said yesterday morning and what I was making my comments about that, about seeing 2 steps and taking 1, okay, to get us to where we are today. That's how you build a company. That's how it's done, okay? Now, I don't care what anybody else says, I've built companies, you know, that are lasting. And I've built organizations that are lasting under unbelievable set of circumstances, but this is how you do it, because it's no different than those of you that are sports fans, okay? You saw some very interesting things at this last Super Bowl. What was interesting, I wasn't a 49ers fan and I wasn't a Baltimore fan, but it was the most anticipated positive Super Bowl that I was looking forward to, because I knew it was going to be done on basic fundamentals of football. Okay? The game was going to be played on basic fundamentals of football. And there was some very interesting things that took place in that game. But both of those teams, okay, both of those teams that got there, they kind of hit a stride about halfway to 3/4 of the way through the season. And things started to come together. And you have to make mid-course corrections. That's what Jim Rohn used to talk about all the time, about mid-course corrections, okay? And to get to where you are you going. So if not, you get locked in. And nothing is ever perfect, ever. And, you know, and again, Jim Rohn said it's better to start an imperfect plan today than a perfect one tomorrow. Okay? And you got to think about that. To start an imperfect plan today is better than starting a perfect plan tomorrow, because guess what? It will never be perfect. So you've got to start with what you are and go with where you want to go. Now, if you sometime in the future, in the next 2 to 3 years, you'll